think that Old Chapel, as the administrative body of, like the real administrative body of the school, should be providing real hard things that, because it's infrastructural things. I think that library hours, the 24-hour library service before finals, the fact that we pay for that is a sham, I think. I think that's total farce, and I think it's really inappropriate. I've also talked to administrators about this, and I think that that is legitimately a half-hour to an hour conversation between the SGA and the Old Chapel, and it's something that they would agree with. To student programming, midnight breakfast is something the SGA picked up a couple years back. I think that's something that we should pay for. It is obscenely expensive, but if that's what students want, I think that that's something that the Finance Committee and the SGA should provide. My ability to push back and my cojones in terms of our relationship with Old Chapel. Like I said, I know a lot of these administrators personally. I don't kick back and hit golf with them on the weekends, but I do know them through sort of frictional experience of being in the same building. I have no problem looking them in the eye and saying, no, I disagree. I think that this is where I think that I would have a leg up here, is that my personal relationship would allow me to say that, but in a constructive way, so that we can still agree on core principles, core values, but I can say we're disagreeing on means and not ends, basically.
Sure. Sure. So I think there's a couple of issues here, right? The first one is SGA's financial sovereignty. That's got to be sacrosanct. That cannot be infringed upon by Old Chapel, because this is the $380 student activities fee, and it's the one area on campus where we as students really do have absolute control. Any attempt by Old Chapel or the administration to infringe on that is absolutely unacceptable. Now, constructive negotiations, sure. Talking, sure. But the idea that you need to be able to take a stand against the administration is absolutely vital. And I do think I'd have those cojones, if you will, Mr. President. I think that being able to take that stand is the most important reason I'm running for SGA President. I've been talking about this the whole time, this role number 2 of SGA President, the first one being to run the student government, and the second one to represent the student voice with the administration. In terms of some of the specific financial issues, I'd actually draw the line in the exact same place as you. Midnight breakfast, okay, library hours, not. That's how I voted when I was in the Senate last year, as a matter of fact, because I think there's some things that are inherently administrative and some things that are inherently SGA focused. I don't have the experience with administrators that you do. I have no frictional experience nor otherwise, although I have done Shabbat with Leibowitz once. But I think that being able to take a stand, in terms of opposing them is not dependent on having had coffee with them several